In Bethlehem's Manger Square, the huge nativity scene, donated by Malta, sits in pride of place under a grid of festive lights draped across the plaza. On Friday morning, a solitary hawker of Santa hats was touting his business, the only visible buyer a mother in a hijab who bought one for the toddler she was carrying in her arms. Today, as every Christmas Eve, this square and the bulk of the ancient Church of the Nativity, which sits on its periphery, will be lit up by television lights to allow images of Christmas in Bethlehem to be transmitted around the globe. But once again, say the West Bank city's Palestinian residents, including the large Christian minority, it will be another gloomy holiday. The reason will be evident from two large banners that the city's municipality plans to hang in the square for today's celebrations. In a direct response to U.S. President Donald Trump, who earlier this month broke with decades of international consensus to recognize neighboring Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, the banners will state that Jerusalem is always the eternal capital of Palestine. Of all the issues at the heart of the enduring conflict between Israel and the Palestinians, none is as sensitive as the status of Jerusalem. The Holy City has been at the center of peacemaking efforts for decades. 70 years ago, when the UN voted to partition Palestine into Jewish and Arab states, Jerusalem was defined as a separate entity under international supervision. In the War of 1948 it was divided, like Berlin in the Cold War, into western and eastern sectors under Israeli and Jordanian control respectively. 19 years later, in June 1967, Israel captured the eastern side, expanded the city's boundaries and annexed it, an act that was never recognized internationally. Israel routinely describes the city, with its Jewish, Muslim and Christian holy places, as its united and eternal capital. For their part, the Palestinians say East Jerusalem must be the capital of a future independent Palestinian state. The unequivocal international view, accepted by all previous U.S. administrations, is that the city's status must be addressed in peace negotiations. Recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital puts the U.S. out of step with the rest of the world, and legitimizes Israeli settlement building in the East, considered illegal under international law. Bethlehem has already made its feeling clear about Trump and key figures in his administration. Following the U.S. President's December 6 announcement on Jerusalem, his avowedly Christian Vice President Mike Pence was disavowed from a festive visit by both Palestinian religious and political leaders, who made clear he was not welcome in the city. In the fortnight or so since Trump's announcement, nowhere in the occupied Palestinian territories has been left untouched by his decision, even as the wider international community has united to denounce it. The United Nations General Assembly voted overwhelmingly on Thursday to reject Trump's move, ignoring the president's threats to cut off aid to any country that went against him. However, in the Holy Land, Christmas has lent an edge and poignancy to the fallout from Trump's declaration.